All right, Peter, in the last lesson, you shared with us your most current area of research in the around systems frameworks and how you use real data to show the system-wide effects and the substantial benefits of local scale solutions like rainwater harvesting.
Yes, Michelle, we did, and it's quite important to understand the entire systems context, or else it's possible to um, produce a wonderful design of a rainwater harvesting system that's not related to the system you're living with or the site of where your house is. But also, another aspect of systems is how bits of the system are linked together. Say in a rainwater harvesting system, we spoke about the treatment train, which is also very important.
It's a system in of itself, the treatment train.
Yes, it is indeed. And so, focusing on perhaps only treating water using some device at the end of the treatment train, say before you use the water, rather than how the whole system works, um, can mean you set up your rainwater system for expensive treatment or failure. So understanding the treatment train system is quite important as well.
Right. So we can take this idea of systems and look at it kind of the microsystem, but you can draw larger and larger boundaries and think of macro systems, like very large systems, right? And that's really the area of research you're doing.
That's right. And the system can be all the way from a rainwater storage, which is a system. It's got a whole bunch of stuff going on in it. It's an ecology, all the way through to the entire world, and how we're challenged by diminishing freshwater resources and increasing population um, and growing climate change challenges. So, we can fit into all of those issues.
Right. So then before we narrow our focus back down to rainwater harvesting systems, I want to have another conversation about two bigger picture topics, system related topics. And those are, well, I guess the first one is the idea of resilience. This is buzzword. And so I've sometimes seen it used in the place of the word sustainability. But what does resilience actually mean?
You know, the dictionary version of resilience is the ability to quickly recover from shocks. It's an elasticity and an adaptability. Um, but, what does this mean for water and sustainability? And what's really going on here? Across the water and environment sector, we tend to get the latest buzzwords about things, and they occur all the time. So resilience is the current latest buzzword. But what does resilience really mean? So perhaps we could say resilience means ability of your rainwater harvesting system to supply water when rainfall is less, and to not overflow or flood your backyard when there is more rainfall, or your system is resilient because you're not using it for 6 months. For example, if you go away overseas or something, or your system is resilient because it's adding to the ability of your house and the way you live your life to reduce the impact on the rest of society. So therefore, you're making the rest of society more adaptable, more resilient to the world we live in.
Hmm. And so then you provided some examples of what resilience might mean on a rainwater harvesting level. broaden that to some examples on more water, water as a need. If you are a household and you're just thinking about water as a need, maybe the community's need for water. What would resilience mean there?
Yeah, the resilience would mean different things, but over the last 30 years, we've used lots of different buzzwords that actually mean resilience. From integrated design, from joined up design, for linked analysis, systems analysis. Sustainability is really about resilience. A sustainable system is a resilient system. And what we need to be aware of here in this course is there are many different words used to describe very similar concepts that have evolved over the last few decades. They're really about, but what they really mean in ultimately is the ability of something you're designing or how you live your life or concepts you're using in your management to actually continue to operate in the way you want them to do and to minimize their impacts, unforeseen or negative impacts on your life and the life of others and on the environment.
Right. In Rob and I's consulting practice, I mean, essentially we have clients or customers come to us who are often looking for off-grid homes or homesteads. And really what they're fundamentally looking for is energy resilience, food security or food resilience, and water resilience, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, Michelle, sorry to interrupt. So security is bound up in resilience. They're actually the same thing. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll be honest, one of the reasons I took some time at the beginning of the book, Essential Rainwater Harvesting, and tried to distill some characteristics of resilience was, I believe, a challenge with trying to clearly articulate a concept given how many different ways it's been articulated or how many different words have been used to mean many of the same things.
Certainly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what we're actually getting at here is don't be confused by the many different words because they often mean the same thing. And within this course, we have a definition which Michelle and I have just discussed, and Michelle's going to take you through her table about resilient properties in modern day design now.
Yeah.